I found it interesting. The Bible actually gives a definition of sin in 1 John 3, verse 4. It states that everyone who sins breaks the law. In fact, sin is lawlessness. So this verse emphasizes that all sin is a violation of God's law or commandments and is itself a form of disobedience. So to clarify too, sin doesn't just mean the physical act of breaking a commandment. Jesus clarifies in the Sermon on the Mount. I think that's in Matthew, right? Yeah.
Probably all of the Gospels, I assume.
Okay. Yeah.
I haven't gone to seminary.
That's true. Jesus clarifies that sin includes even entertaining the idea of breaking a commandment. So in response to the idea that, so a lot of people will often say, if you like encounter someone on the street, you're doing like some street evangelism and you're like, do you think, you're gonna go to heaven? And they're like, yeah, I'm a good person.
Who's that guy?
Ray Comfort does like a lot of street evangelism, and he encounters tons of people who are like, yeah, I'm a good person, I'm going to heaven. So I would challenge you in response to that, like thought, I'm a good person. Have you ever lied? Have you ever lusted after someone? Have you ever used God's name in vain? Have you ever stolen anything? Have you ever hated someone? Disrespected your parents? The list goes on.
Well, not even that, but thought of doing those things.
Yes, Have
Crazy.
you ever even thought about doing one of those things? Here's the thing. Even breaking one law, one commandment makes you guilty of the whole thing. And that is supported by James chapter 2, verse 10, which states, whoever keeps the whole law and yet stumbles in one point, he has become guilty of it all. Here's the crazy part. Jesus never did. He never broke a commandment, and he literally never had a sinful thought.
That's actually so insane.
How crazy is that?
Think about
That's amazing.
Think about like preteen puberty Jesus, and not like
not even a sinful thought.
Not even thinking about like
Mind
yelling
blowing.
at my mom and dad.
That just like
You know what I mean?
distinguishes Jesus so much.
And still fully man.
100%.
He didn't cheat. He put aside all his divinity, fully man. We'll get into him later, but sorry, this is great. Keep going.
That's the breakdown I have for you.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I like it. My quick observations.
One thing you missed, we should highlight, is murder or adultery.
I
right?
did. I have a whole
Sin
list
is
here.
sin. So like, yeah, there's not.
Have
like,
you ever murdered anyone? Have you ever committed adultery or thought about it?
Yeah, but sin is sin. Yeah.
But it also it's crazy. We're talking about it in that context. It like elevates kind of like small sins to the same height as big ones, but also it makes like the big ones, quote unquote, like whatever, killing someone.
Like
I don't
you're
know.
as guilty as I am.
Yeah, I could just tell like a little white lie.
Yeah.
And it's the exact same as Hitler.
And that rocked me for a long time because it's like that. Like, we all fall short of God's glory.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we all sin.
The playing field is leveled.
Yeah. And that I think addresses like, tell me if I'm jumping the gun with this, but when people often say things like, oh, I'm too far gone, like for the gospel, I'm too broken, like I've done too much. What would you say to that, Marcus?
I would say Jesus can redeem anybody.
Yeah.
And like literally you can give your life to the Lord and your sin is washed. Like you are clean, you're a new creation. And so you are not too far gone. Not at all.